Educational philosophies serve as the foundation upon which teaching practices and school leadership strategies are built. Each philosophy reflects a unique vision of the learner, the purpose of education, and the nature of knowledge. According to Kabiles, 2024, philosophies such as essentialism, progressivism, Reconstructionism, Constructivism, Humanism significantly shape the way educators design instruction and manage learning environments. These frameworks guide curriculum choices, pedagogical strategies, classroom management approaches, and institutional policies. Understanding the distinct principles and applications of these educational theories is key to encouraging effective social studies education and establishing school management practices that are both purposeful and reflective of broader societal goals. Essentialism is a teacher-centered philosophy that emphasizes academic rigor, structured learning, and mastery of essential knowledge and skills. According to Jayashila, ND, essentialism focuses on preparing students for responsible citizenship by grounding them in traditional disciplines such as mathematics, science, literature, and history. Unlike perennialism, essentialism is more aligned with societal needs and often aims to ensure that students can function effectively in modern economies and civic life. In social studies, education, essentialist approaches emphasize factual content, civic literacy, and historical knowledge. As noted by Fogelberg and Wong, 2023, this might involve students memorizing dates, learning about the structure of government, and studying historical timelines. For example, students may be required to recite the preamble to the Constitution, outline the 3 branches of government, or complete worksheets identifying the causes and effects of major wars. Lessons are often teacher-led, with a strong focus on textbooks and standardized assessments. Based on the views of Swargiari, 2024, school management under essentialism is defined by order, discipline, and adherence to academic standards. Administrators prioritize teacher authority and curriculum uniformity across grade levels. School routines are structured with clearly defined rules, traditional grading systems, and strict attendance policies. For instance, an essentialist principal may implement school-wide benchmarks in social studies and require common quarterly exams to ensure uniform learning outcomes across classrooms. On the other hand, progressivism is a learner-centered philosophy grounded in the belief that education should be responsive to the needs and experiences of students. According to Kabiles, 2024, progressivism emphasizes experiential learning, critical thinking, and social engagement. Originating with John Dewey, this philosophy promotes education as a dynamic, interactive process that encourages students to explore problems, make decisions, and reflect on their learning. In social studies, progressivism supports inquiry-based learning, simulations, and the investigation of contemporary social issues. As stated by F. Edition and Tite, a progressive classroom might involve students collaborating on a community action project, conducting interviews on local government issues, or debating ethical dilemmas like freedom of speech versus public safety. Students are active participants in shaping curriculum topics, with teachers acting more as facilitators than lecturers. From a leadership standpoint, progressivist school management promotes democratic governance, inclusive policies, and teacher-student collaboration. As discussed by Wong, ND, school leaders operating under progressivism are likely to form advisory councils, support project-based professional development, and seek input from all stakeholders. For example, a progressive principal might establish interdisciplinary task forces to design integrated social studies units or organize student-led town halls to address school concerns. Meanwhile, Reconstructionism is a forward-looking educational philosophy that views schools as vehicles for social transformation. As explained by Kabiles, 2024, this philosophy advocates for addressing social injustices and systemic inequalities through education. It encourages students to become change agents who critically examine their world and work toward building a more just society. In social studies, education, Reconstructionism is applied by focusing on social activism, critical consciousness, and transformative dialogue. According to Yuldashevna, N.D., students might study topics like systemic racism, income inequality, or climate justice, and be tasked with creating real-world interventions. A classroom might include projects where students design policy proposals, campaign for school reforms, or produce documentaries on community issues, blending academic content with civic engagement. In school leadership, Reconstructionism manifests in social justice-oriented practices, community partnerships, and culturally responsive pedagogy. Based on the views of Jayashila and N.D., Reconstructionist administrators challenge traditional power structures and work to create inclusive, equitable school cultures. This could involve organizing anti-racism workshops for staff, ensuring diverse representation in curriculum materials, or launching mentorship programs for underrepresented students. Moreover, Constructivism is a learning theory and educational philosophy that emphasizes how learners actively construct knowledge through experiences. As described by Kunju Muhammad and Tabash, 2024-4, Constructivism values student inquiry, prior knowledge, and reflective thinking. Drawing on the works of Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky, it focuses on meaning-making and the social nature of learning. In social studies, constructivist teaching methods include student-led research, cooperative learning, and project-based assessments. According to Kabilis, 2024, students might role-play historical figures, analyze primary sources to create museum exhibits, or participate in mock elections. Teachers guide students through complex problems, encouraging them to synthesize information from multiple sources and present arguments from diverse perspectives. Administratively, constructivist school leadership emphasizes learning communities, teacher collaboration, and flexible structures that support innovation. As noted by Fogelberg and Wang, 2023, principals who adopt this approach often decentralize decision-making and encourage experimentation. For instance, a constructivist school might have interdisciplinary planning periods, open concept classrooms, or student-led curriculum reviews that empower learners to take charge of their education. Humanism is an educational philosophy that emphasizes the development of the whole individual, emotionally, intellectually, morally, and socially. According to Kabilis, 2024, it views learners as inherently capable and emphasizes empathy, intrinsic motivation, and self-actualization. Influenced by Carl Rogers and Abraham Maslow, humanist education values environments that nurture trust, respect, and emotional well-being alongside academic growth. In social studies, education, humanism promotes introspective and ethical learning experiences. According to Yuldashevna, N.D., students in a humanist classroom are encouraged to connect historical and civic topics to their personal values and life experiences. For example, a lesson on immigration might include reflective journaling about one's family history, identity, or feelings about cultural diversity. Similarly, units on human rights could ask students to explore their personal beliefs about justice and fairness, leading to class discussions grounded in empathy and mutual understanding. Humanism in social studies shifts the focus from rote memorization of dates and events to personal meaning-making and moral reflection. In school leadership, humanist principles influence management styles that prioritize the emotional and personal development of students and staff. As described by F. Edition, N.D., humanist school administrators strive to create nurturing environments where students feel valued and supported. Such efforts may involve implementing personalized learning plans, offering mentoring programs, or fostering open-door communication policies between staff and students. A humanist principal might choose restorative justice practices over punitive discipline, encouraging students to understand the impact of their behavior and restore relationships, rather than simply serve consequences. Additionally, humanist leaders often involve students in decision-making processes, valuing their perspectives and promoting a sense of autonomy and belonging within the school community. In summary, Educational philosophies provide helpful lenses through which both teaching and leadership in schools can be reimagined and improved. Essentialism provides a structured, academically focused model, while Progressivism and Constructivism encourage active student engagement and inquiry. As explained by Cabiles, 2024, philosophies such as Reconstructionism call for critical engagement with social issues, whereas humanism and existentialism emphasize personal growth, autonomy, and meaning-making. Each philosophy offers distinct strengths and is best applied in contexts that align with its core assumptions about learning and learners. By integrating philosophical perspectives into educational planning and practice, educators and school leaders can create more responsive, inclusive, and effective learning environments that support both individual development and collective societal progress. Thank you very much for watching.